Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about choices. Let's talk about what it means to stand in the mirror every day and ask yourself, am I doing the best I can? Because let's be honest, some of us are out here making decisions that don't just miss the mark, they miss the entire target. Now, I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. Life is already full of people who'll tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you the truth. The truth is, some of us need to stop being stupid. Yes, I said it. Because stupidity isn't about a lack of intelligence, it's about a lack of intention. It's about walking through life without focus, without discipline, and without a clear understanding of what you're doing to yourself and those around you. You see, being smart isn't just about knowing facts or reading books, it's about making wise decisions, choosing the right path when the wrong one looks easier, and staying true to your purpose even when distractions are screaming your name. Being stupid, that's ignoring the consequences of your actions. That's thinking the shortcuts will take you farther than hard work. That's forgetting who you are because you're too busy trying to impress people who won't even remember your name in 5 years. Let me tell you something about failure. Failure isn't stupid, it's human. Falling down isn't stupid, it's part of the process. But staying down? Now that's a choice. That's when you've let fear, pride, or laziness take over. And I'm here to tell you you're better than that. You have more in you than that. Stop wasting your time on nonsense. Stop hanging around with people who pull you down instead of lifting you up. Stop making excuses for why you can't, why you haven't, why you won't. There are people out there right now, right this second, who would give everything to have the opportunities you take for granted. Wake up. Step up. Look in that mirror and remind yourself who you are. You are capable. You are powerful. But only if you choose to be. You don't get to coast through life and blame the world when things don't go your way. You want success? Earn it. You want respect? Show it. You want greatness? Chase it with everything you've got. But most importantly, stop standing in your own way. Stop sabotaging your future with short-sighted choices. The world doesn't owe you anything. But here's the good news, you don't owe the world anything either except to be the best version of yourself. So stop playing small. Stop thinking small. Stop being stupid. Make your life count. Make every decision reflect the person you know you're meant to be. And when you look back years from now, you'll thank yourself for the moment you stopped and chose to rise above. Now go out there and don't just be good, be unstoppable. Stupidity is a choice, not a trait. Being stupid isn't about intelligence, it's about choosing to ignore consequences, avoid responsibility, and settle for less than your best. Focus and discipline lead to success. Success comes from intentional, disciplined action. Avoid shortcuts and distractions that pull you off your path. Failure is a step, not a stop. Falling down is part of life, but staying down is a choice. Use failures as stepping stones to growth, not excuses to quit. Cut out the negativity. Surround yourself with people who lift you up and align with your goals. Don't waste time or energy on relationships or activities that hold you back. Take responsibility for your life. Stop making excuses and start making better choices. The world doesn't owe you success, it's up to you to earn it. Live with purpose and intention. Every decision should reflect the person you aspire to be. Make your life count by rising above mediocrity and embracing great. Stupidity is a choice, not a trait. This is a hard truth to accept for many, but it's also one of the most empowering realizations you can come to. People often confuse intelligence with the choices they make, assuming that a poor decision is a reflection of their IQ or inherent capability. But let's be clear, intelligence and the ability to make wise choices are two very different things. Being stupid has far less to do with what you know and far more to do with how you act. It's about a mindset, a pattern of behavior, and a willingness or lack thereof to take responsibility for your actions and decisions. When we talk about stupidity in this context, we're not talking about someone who doesn't know any better. We're talking about someone who does, yet chooses to ignore what they know, dismiss good advice, or act against their own best interests. Stupidity is when you let laziness, fear, or ego dictate your decisions, even when the right path is clear. It's when you choose the easy route over the right one, knowing full well that the consequences will eventually catch up with you. It's ignoring common sense, brushing aside wisdom, and pretending that actions don't have consequences just because you don't want to face them. Think about the times in your life when you've made a bad decision. Now think about how often that decision came from a place of willful ignorance rather than actual ignorance. How many times did you know better but didn't do better? That's what we're talking about here. Stupidity is not a fixed trait, it's a pattern of behavior. And the beauty of patterns is that they can be changed. The moment you recognize that your choices are what define you, not your inherent abilities or limitations, you open the door to transformation. What often drives this type of behavior is a refusal to take responsibility. It's easier to blame external circumstances, other people, or bad luck for your situation than it is to admit that your choices put you there. But that's exactly what makes stupidity a choice. When you refuse to acknowledge your role in your own life, you give away your power. You let circumstances dictate your future instead of stepping up and taking control. Let's not confuse this with making mistakes, because everyone makes mistakes. Mistakes are an essential part of learning and growing. But when you repeat the same mistakes over and over again, when you refuse to learn from them or adjust your behavior, that's when it crosses the line into stupidity. It's not about failing, it's about failing to learn. It's about refusing to take a hard look at yourself and ask, what can I do differently next time? Another aspect of this mindset is comfort. People often choose stupidity because it feels safe. It's easier to stay in your comfort zone than to challenge yourself, even when you know that growth lies on the other side of discomfort. It's easier to follow the crowd than to stand alone for what's right. It's easier to make impulsive choices than to think through the long-term consequences. But every time you take the easy way out, you reinforce a pattern of behavior that will only hold you back. What separates those who rise above mediocrity from those who remain stuck is the willingness to make better choices even when they're hard. It's about taking ownership of your life and refusing to let excuses or bad habits dictate your future. This isn't something that happens overnight. It takes self-awareness, discipline, and a commitment to change. But it starts with a simple decision to stop acting against your own interests and start choosing the path that leads to growth. Ultimately, stupidity is a choice to ignore, a choice to settle, a choice to give up on yourself. And the good news is that just as it's a choice to act against your best interests, it's also a choice to rise above, to learn, to grow, and to make decisions that align with the life you want to live. It's up to you. Focus and discipline are the cornerstones of success. They are not just traits you're born with, but skills you cultivate through consistent effort and intention. Without focus, your energy is scattered, and without discipline, even the best intentions remain unfulfilled. Together, they form the foundation upon which any meaningful achievement is built. If you want success in any area of life, be it personal, professional, or spiritual, you need to embrace these principles wholeheartedly. Focus is about clarity. It's about knowing what you want and committing yourself fully to it. In a world filled with distractions, staying focused is more challenging than ever. Social media, endless notifications, and a constant barrage of information pull our attention in 100 directions at once. But here's the truth: success doesn't come to those who dabble in everything. It comes to those who prioritize and master the few things that truly matter. When you're focused, you make deliberate choices about where to spend your time and energy. You learn to say no to things that don't align with your goals, even if they seem appealing in the moment. This isn't always easy. Distractions often disguise themselves as opportunities, and instant gratification can tempt you away from long-term rewards. But focus requires discipline, the ability to delay gratification and stay the course, even when the journey is difficult or the results aren't immediate. Discipline, on the other hand, is the muscle that keeps you moving forward. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline isn't about being perfect, it's about being consistent. It's about showing up every day, putting in the work, and trusting that your efforts will eventually pay off. Think about the people you admire most: the athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, or leaders who have achieved extraordinary things. What sets them apart is not just their talent, but their unwavering discipline. They made sacrifices, overcame obstacles, and pushed through challenges to reach their goals. But discipline is not just about grinding endlessly. It's about creating habits and systems that make success inevitable. Discipline starts small. It's waking up early to work on your craft, saying no to distractions, and setting clear boundaries for your time. Over time, these small acts compound into significant results. The beauty of discipline is that it becomes easier the more you practice it. What once felt like a chore eventually becomes second nature, and your consistent efforts build momentum that propels you forward. Focus and discipline work hand in hand. Focus gives you direction, while discipline provides the fuel to keep moving toward your destination. Without focus, discipline can lead you astray. You might work hard but end up achieving little because your efforts are scattered. Without discipline, focus becomes wishful thinking, a dream without action to back it up. Together, they ensure that every step you take brings you closer to your goals. One of the biggest obstacles to focus and discipline is the allure of shortcuts. In a culture that prizes instant results, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking quick fixes or easy wins, but shortcuts rarely lead to lasting success. True achievement requires time, effort, and a willingness to do the hard work that others avoid. Focus and discipline are about playing the long game, building something meaningful and enduring rather than chasing fleeting rewards. Another challenge is self-doubt. When the journey gets tough, it's natural to question whether you're on the right path or whether you're capable of achieving your goals. This is where focus becomes crucial. When you have a clear vision of what you want and why it matters, it becomes easier to push through moments of doubt. And when you've cultivated discipline, you can rely on your habits to carry you forward, even when motivation wanes. Ultimately, focus and discipline are choices. They are not reserved for a select few, but are available to anyone willing to put in the effort. They require sacrifice, commitment, and a willingness to embrace discomfort, but the rewards are well worth it. When you master these principles, you unlock the power to achieve anything you set your mind to. The path to success may not always be easy, but with focus and discipline, it becomes inevitable. Failure is a step, not a stop. It is a moment in the journey, not the end of the road. Yet, so many of us treat failure as a final destination, a sign to give up, or a confirmation of inadequacy. The truth is, failure is one of the most powerful teachers in life. It has the potential to shape us, refine us, and propel us toward greatness if we let it. The problem arises when we misunderstand failure, viewing it as a sign of weakness or incompetence rather than the stepping stone it truly is. Failure is inevitable. No one achieves anything worthwhile without stumbling along the way. The greatest innovators, leaders, and creators all have one thing in common: they failed. And they failed often. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That mindset is what separates those who succeed from those who stop trying. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of the process. It teaches you what doesn't work so you can move closer to what does. The first step in reframing failure is recognizing that it's not personal. Failing at something doesn't mean you are a failure. It means you tried something that didn't work, and now you have an opportunity to learn and grow. Too often we let failure define us, attaching it to our sense of self-worth. But failure is an event, not a characteristic. It's something that happens, not something you are. When you learn to separate your identity from your outcomes, you free yourself to take risks, explore new possibilities, and embrace the learning process without fear. Another important aspect of failure is its ability to build resilience. Every time you fail and get back up, you become stronger. You develop grit, perseverance, and the determination to keep moving forward despite setbacks. These qualities are invaluable because success is rarely achieved on the first try. It requires endurance, the ability to keep going even when the odds seem stacked against you. Failure, as painful as it can be, is the training ground where resilience is forged. Failure also provides clarity. When something doesn't work out, it forces you to reevaluate your approach, identify weaknesses, and refine your strategy. It's a feedback loop that, if used correctly, can lead to significant improvement. Imagine trying to hit a target in the dark. Each missed shot teaches you something about your aim, your technique, or your tools. With each attempt, you get closer to your goal. Failure is not a dead end, it's a redirection, guiding you toward a better path. The fear of failure is one of the biggest barriers to success. It paralyzes us, keeping us from taking the risks necessary for growth. But avoiding failure at all costs often means avoiding opportunity. Playing it safe might keep you comfortable, but it will never lead to greatness. The irony is that the people who fear failure the most often end up stuck in mediocrity, while those who embrace it as part of the journey are the ones who achieve extraordinary things. One of the most valuable lessons failure teaches is humility. It reminds us that we don't have all the answers, that we still have room to grow, and that success is not guaranteed. This humility keeps us grounded, open to learning, and willing to seek help when needed. It's a reminder that even the best laid plans can go awry, and that adaptability is just as important as ambition. Failure also creates empathy. When you've struggled, stumbled, and faced adversity, you develop a deeper understanding of what others go through. This perspective not only makes you a better leader, collaborator, and friend, but also enhances your ability to connect with people on a meaningful level. Success achieved without failure often lacks the depth and richness that come from overcoming challenges. Ultimately, failure is a gift. It may not feel like it in the moment, but every setback carries within it the seeds of growth and transformation. The key is to approach failure with the right mindset, not as something to be feared, but as something to be embraced. When you see failure for what it truly is, a step, not a stop, you unlock its potential to propel you forward. You realize that every fall is an opportunity to rise stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the road ahead. Cutting out negativity is one of the most important decisions you can make in life. Negativity has a way of creeping in, subtly influencing your thoughts, actions, and overall outlook until it becomes a barrier between you and your goals. Whether it comes from people, environments, or even your own mindset, negativity is a drain on your energy, a thief of your focus, and a poison to your potential. To achieve anything meaningful, you have to identify negativity in its various forms and make a conscious choice to let it go. One of the most common sources of negativity is the people you surround yourself with. It's often said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and there's truth in that. If you're constantly around people who complain, criticize, or belittle others, that energy will seep into your own mindset. These individuals may not even realize the impact they're having, but their negativity can weigh you down, cloud your perspective, and make you doubt your abilities. Negativity in relationships often manifests as discouragement, jealousy, or a lack of support. You might share your goals and dreams with someone, only to be met with skepticism or dismissal. They might tell you it's unrealistic, that you're not capable, or that you should settle for less. Over time, these words can start to feel like truth, eroding your confidence and making you second-guess your ambitions. Cutting out negativity doesn't necessarily mean cutting people out of your life entirely. It means setting boundaries, protecting your energy, and limiting the influence of those who don't uplift you. Beyond the people around you, negativity can also come from the environments you expose yourself to. Think about the media you consume, the places you frequent, and the conversations you participate in. Constant exposure to bad news, toxic discussions, or environments filled with conflict can leave you feeling drained, anxious, and pessimistic. It's essential to be intentional about where you spend your time and what you allow into your mind. Seek out spaces that inspire you, people who motivate you, and experiences that align with your values and goals. Perhaps the most insidious form of negativity is the one that comes from within your own self-doubt, fear, and limiting beliefs. This internal negativity is often the hardest to confront, because it feels so personal and deeply ingrained. You might tell yourself you're not good enough, that you don't deserve success, or that failure is inevitable. These thoughts can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, holding you back before you even start. Overcoming this requires self-awareness, self-compassion, and a commitment to reframe your inner dialogue. Challenge those negative thoughts and replace them with affirmations of your potential and worth. Cutting out negativity is not just about removing the bad, it's about making space for the good. When you clear away negative influences, you open yourself up to positivity, growth, and new opportunities. You start to notice the people who encourage you, the moments that bring you joy, and the possibilities that were always there, but hidden beneath the weight of negativity. It's like cleaning a foggy window. You suddenly see the world with greater clarity and purpose. It's important to note that this process isn't easy. Negativity can be addictive because it's familiar, and breaking away from it often requires uncomfortable changes. You might have to distance yourself from longtime friends, leave environments you've grown accustomed to, or confront deeply rooted patterns of thinking. But the freedom and empowerment that come from cutting out negativity are well worth the effort. You'll find that your energy increases, your confidence grows, and your ability to focus on your goals sharpens. One of the most profound shifts you'll experience when you let go of negativity is a sense of peace. Without the constant weight of negative energy, you'll feel lighter, more hopeful, and more in control of your life. You'll be able to approach challenges with a clear mind and an optimistic outlook, knowing that you're no longer carrying the unnecessary burden of negativity. Ultimately, cutting out negativity is a choice to value your own well-being, prioritize your goals, and surround yourself with influences that help you thrive. It's not about avoiding reality or pretending life is perfect. It's about creating an environment where you can face reality with strength, resilience, and a belief in your ability to overcome. The more you commit to this practice, the more you'll see how transformative it can be, and the closer you'll move to becoming the best version of yourself. Taking responsibility for your life is one of the most transformative decisions you can make. It means owning your actions, your choices, and your circumstances not as a victim of fate or luck, but as the driver of your destiny. It's about stepping up and declaring, "My life is my responsibility," rather than waiting for others to rescue you, blaming external factors, or making excuses. This shift in mindset can change everything because it puts the power back in your hands. When you take responsibility, you take control. The first step in taking responsibility is recognizing that your life is the sum of your choices. Yes, there are external circumstances and challenges that you cannot control, but how you respond to them is entirely up to you. Life isn't always fair, and things won't always go your way. However, blaming the past, other people, or circumstances for where you are only keeps you stuck. When you take responsibility, you acknowledge that while you may not have created every challenge you face, you do have the power to determine how you handle it moving forward. Taking responsibility doesn't mean beating yourself up for mistakes or failures. It means learning from them and using those lessons to grow. Everyone makes mistakes, but the difference between those who succeed and those who don't lies in their willingness to own their errors and adjust their course. When you make excuses or deny your role in a situation, you rob yourself of the opportunity to learn and improve. On the other hand, when you take ownership of your actions, you empower yourself to make better choices in the future. This mindset extends to all areas of your life. If you're unhappy in your career, it's easy to blame your boss, the economy, or bad luck. But taking responsibility means asking yourself, what can I do to change this? Maybe it's acquiring new skills, networking, or pursuing a different path. If your relationships are strained, instead of blaming the other person, consider what role you've played in the conflict and what you can do to improve the situation. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for others to change and start taking steps to create the outcomes you desire. A big part of taking responsibility is rejecting the victim mentality. It's tempting to fall into the mindset of "why me?" or "it's not my fault." While it's natural to feel this way at times, staying in that mindset is a trap. It keeps you focused on what's wrong instead of what you can do to make it right. Taking responsibility requires you to shift your perspective from "why is this happening to me?" to "what can I learn from this and how can I move forward?" This change in focus is empowering because it reminds you that you are not powerless. You have the ability to influence your own life. Another aspect of taking responsibility is accountability. This means holding yourself to a high standard and being honest about whether your actions align with your goals and values. It's easy to set intentions, but harder to follow through. Accountability requires discipline, self-awareness, and the courage to face yourself. It also means surrounding yourself with people who will hold you accountable and challenge you to stay true to your commitments. Taking responsibility for your life also means letting go of entitlement. The world doesn't owe you anything, and success is not guaranteed. Many people fall into the trap of thinking that because they want something, they deserve it without putting in the necessary work. But the truth is, everything worth having requires effort, sacrifice, and persistence. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for opportunities to fall into your lap and start creating them for yourself. This mindset is not about being perfect or never needing help. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you have to do everything alone or carry every burden by yourself. It's okay to seek support, ask for advice, and lean on others when needed. What it does mean is owning your role in your journey and refusing to let excuses or external factors dictate your future. Ultimately, taking responsibility is about freedom. When you stop blaming, stop waiting, and stop making excuses, you free yourself to take action and create the life you want. It's a powerful, transformative decision that shifts your perspective and puts you in the driver's seat of your own life. It's not always easy, but the rewards, confidence, self-respect, and the satisfaction of knowing you're in control are more than worth the effort. Making your actions align with your goals is the essence of progress and success. It's not enough to have dreams, aspirations, or even a detailed plan. What truly matters is what you do daily to turn those dreams into reality. Actions are the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. If your actions don't reflect your goals, then your goals are a little more than wishful thinking. Aligning your actions with your aspirations requires intentionality, discipline, and a commitment to staying on course, even when distractions or challenges arise. The first step in aligning your actions with your goals is clarity. You need to know exactly what you want and why it matters. A vague idea or a half-formed desire won't inspire meaningful action. For example, saying, "I want to be successful" isn't specific enough. What does success mean to you? Is it financial stability, career achievement, personal growth, or something else? Once you define your goal clearly, you can start mapping out the steps needed to achieve it. Without this clarity, your actions risk being scattered and ineffective. Once you're clear on your goals, the next step is to evaluate your current actions. Take an honest look at how you spend your time, energy, and resources. Are your daily habits and routines bringing you closer to your goals, or are they holding you back? For instance, if your goal is to improve your health, but your actions include skipping workouts, eating unhealthy foods, or neglecting sleep, there's a clear misalignment. Change begins with self-awareness, acknowledging where your actions fall short and committing to making adjustments. Aligning your actions with your goals often requires prioritization. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to get sidetracked by things that seem urgent but aren't truly important. Social media, endless notifications, and other trivial tasks can eat away at your time and energy, leaving little room for what really matters. To align your actions with your goals, you must learn to say no to distractions and focus on what truly drives progress. This might mean restructuring your schedule, setting clear boundaries, or even making sacrifices to stay aligned with your priorities. Another key to aligning your actions with your goals is consistency. Big changes don't happen overnight. They result from small, consistent actions taken over time. If you want to write a book, it's not about writing 10,000 words in a single day. It's about committing to writing a little every day, even when you don't feel like it. If you want to build a business, it's about showing up, doing the work, and staying persistent, even when progress feels slow. Consistency builds momentum, and over time, those small actions compound into significant results. It's also important to measure your progress and adjust your actions as needed. Just because you've set a course doesn't mean it's the right one. Regularly check in with yourself to see if your actions are yielding the desired results. If not, be willing to pivot. Maybe your approach needs tweaking, or perhaps you need to develop new skills or strategies. Flexibility is key to ensuring that your actions remain effective and aligned with your goals. One common barrier to alignment is fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even fear of success. These fears can lead to procrastination or self-sabotage, preventing you from taking the actions you know are necessary. Overcoming this requires courage and self-belief. Remember, the only way to achieve your goals is to act despite your fears. Every step forward, no matter how small, builds confidence and brings you closer to your aspirations. Aligning your actions with your goals also means embracing accountability. Share your goals with trusted friends, mentors, or family members who can help keep you on track. Having someone to hold you accountable increases your commitment and provides valuable feedback along the way. Accountability partners can celebrate your wins, remind you of your why, and help you course correct when needed. Finally, aligning your actions with your goals is a deeply personal process. Your goals reflect your unique values, dreams, and vision for your life. Therefore, your actions should be authentic to who you are and what matters most to you. Don't get caught up in comparing your journey to others or trying to live up to someone else's expectations. Focus on what feels right for you and take steps that resonate with your purpose. When your actions align with your goals, you create a sense of harmony and direction in your life. Every decision, every effort, every moment becomes part of a larger picture, moving you closer to the future you envision. It's not always easy, and it requires discipline and dedication, but the rewards are undeniable. By committing to this alignment, you take control of your destiny and ensure that your dreams are not just possibilities but realities waiting to unfold. In the end, life is about choices. Stop letting fear, negativity, or excuses hold you back. Embrace failure as a teacher, take full responsibility for your actions, and align them with your goals. Surround yourself with positivity and commit to growth every day. Your greatness lies in your hands. Act on it.